yourself
This
in trouble.
conference will now be recorded.
Wasn't even being recorded all this time. So unfortunately, anyone joining us now, forgive me, you missed the calisthenics. I'll go through them real fast. We only bet 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25 of bankroll. That's our 1% to 5% ratings. So if you got $10,000 bankroll, you're only betting 25 to 125. $25, $50, $75, $100, and $125. You're flat betting on dogs. So if it's a 5% at plus 120, you're betting $125 at plus 120. If it's 5% at minus 120, you're laying, what is it, 140, 150 to win that, because we lay the juice to win that 5%, that 125. So you're laying that 1250, the 10%, or 20%, so it'd be $25. So you'd be laying 150 to win 125. That's it. Follow that. You will be profitable when all the dust settles. If you don't follow that, regardless of my results or anyone's results, you're probably going to have trouble turning profit in sports. We picked up some money over the last week. We're still down over the last 30 days. But what matters more than anything else is that we're up for this year and we're moving forward, trying to close out another winning year. So we got the questions as far as following some steam moves and as far as buying points. Again, if you're paying too much, you're not getting a better number. You think you are because you're getting plus 5.5 instead of plus 4.5, but you're paying double because plus 5.5 compared to 4.5 at minus 110 should only be plus 5.5 minus 115. But books charge you minus 130, so they double charge you for that point, which is why it's not advantageous to buy points, except in very rare spots where it is underpriced, because that's just the industry way. Move on. I'm challenging myself to remove one of your picks each day and also include one of my own so I can learn. Do you have any advice on how to remove one of my bets? I love it. I love it. I love it. That's what you should be doing. Handicap the handicapper. Get a better result than myself. Narrow down my card. That's what I do. Dude, I swear to God, right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 34 preseason plays that I moved for different groups and different guys that I work with. First half, second half, sides. 34. I'm not going to send you guys 34 freaking plays, even though at the second they placed them, they were all plus EV, because so many are time sensitive, so the value's gone. So many of them are also scalps, because when betting syndicates can move a line one way, then they could buy it back the other way. They have both sides at no risk, meaning they don't even care about who wins. The whole objective was to get plus money on both sides, or a ticket where regardless of the outcome, you make 1%, 2% on the capital put out for those both bets. See, again, if you're doing this for money, you're looking at it very differently. You're not looking at it like, oh, I bet this game, this team, I need them to go over. Dude, you may need them to go over in the first half, under in the third quarter, over in the fourth quarter, under for the game, because those were the bets that were offering you the best of it at the time. And you just want that when the dust settles, you trust in the math that if I bet plus EV bets, I'll be up money. But again, 99% of bettors lose, so 99% of bettors can't identify a plus EV bet. That's where the problem comes in. They don't know the difference between plus EV and negative EV. One of the best ways you could eliminate my bets is look, where has the market moved against me? If the market's moved against me, then there's resistance to my opinion. Here's what I mean to answer your question, because the gentleman asked, I try to remove one of your plays off the card and add one of my own. Which one of yours would you urge me to remove? Instead of blindly or randomly doing it, I would say, look at which one the line moved against me the most. Meaning, if we went Phillies minus 110, minus 120, let's say we bet Phillies minus 120. If the Phillies now are minus 110, where you could get a better line right now than when I bet it, that's the one you probably should be betting, you should be pulling out, because there's obviously resistance that someone if it's not a public game, it's not public money. More times than not in baseball, it's not going to be the case. That someone respected opinion on the other side disagrees with me. That's where I would take off. If the line, if the we beat the market, I wouldn't fade those. Like if you see we laid minus 120 and it's now minus 130, 135, I wouldn't fade that. Like I wouldn't omit that. I would omit that because if the line moved too much and I couldn't get a good number, obviously I wouldn't bet it. But I probably wouldn't, otherwise look, or else just do it randomly. But I would look, where did the market disagree with us? Yes, I can turn up the audio. Hopefully that works a little. Yeah, Scotty, I have to. I know it pisses some people off when I repeat myself over and over again, and especially if they watch these videos, the last 20, the beginning of them are probably very much the same, but that's because it's so important. We can't overlook what matters most. What's going to determine your success and failure. Where you are right now, based on the last 30 days, you're either doing worse because you overbet, or you're where we are. And if you overbet and are doing worse, you can fix that still, but you got to do it right. Like you can't half-ass it. You can't half-ass it. If you're not bankrolled enough and these are too many plays, you have to re-examine your thesis and how you're going to approach it. I don't want you guessing. I want you to have a plan. I want everyone to have a plan and be robotic and stick to that plan. So if you don't have the money, the bankroll, or the comfort to bet 15 plays on a day the market's giving us 15 plays because it's NBA, it's college football, it's college basketball, it's NHL, it's NFL, it's soccer, it's all these sports, and we have action in all of them, then go in with a plan. My plan is, you know what? I picked 5 plays. I narrowed down Ace's 5 strongest. And for my year, that's what I'm going to do. That's my plan. Have your plan. Listen, you have the winning information, what I'm going to share with you. You have the recipe on how to bet that winning information. After that, it's on you how you want to do it. Like everyone could have a different plan. Like I said, you could bet 1 a day, you could bet them all, or you could say, I'm going to just bet 5. That's what I'm most comfortable with. I'm going to follow the bet size, but I sleep better when I only do 5, because then I don't worry about when I wake up, the fluctuation isn't too high. See, the problem is when you bet 10, 15 plays, it's fluctuation. It's emotions. And the reason most handicappers, obviously they don't, because they get buried, they don't get volume, but also they want to sell picks. And, going 10-0 on a day doesn't help you as much as you think. 3-0 is just as good to most bettors. But 0-10 compared to 0-3 buries you. Like saying you're 0-10 buries you. Saying you're 0-3, yeah, you don't sell for 2 days. Big fucking deal. Saying you're 0-10, you probably don't sell for a week or two. That's the difference. I don't have that complaint. I don't worry about that. I do it like a guy who should be doing it, trying to make money, is doing it, not a guy trying to sell picks. I think that's the disconnect. But as time goes, it'll make sense. As the profit piles up and you start seeing, oh wait, yeah, it's up more now than it was. Okay, out of nowhere, that's how the markets work. We can't time this, but if you bet size correctly, you don't get too high or too low, depending on short-term results, you'll do just fine. You'll use this market as an investment vehicle. Then have fun with the rest. Enjoy watching it with friends. Put $25 aside, $100 aside, and say, I'm going to parlay the shit out of this money every week for fun. That's my gamble. I'm going to invest like a fucking G, but I'm going to gamble for fun as well. You could satisfy both needs. I'm not telling you to just do what I do. Be yourself, but you got to get the first part down of not overbetting. If you overbet your edge, I can't help you. There's nothing I could do to stop you from losing money if you overbet your edge. Sure, a good point for college football power rankings. Honestly, most that are available, they're a good starting block. I mean, you could just Google it, and most are going to be all comparable, the same. I mean, Sarragan does it. There's a handful that I'm sure put them out. Most follow the same mathematical, the ELO, or we have most follow what I'm saying is like the exact same type of math is on their power ratings. So you'll see very small differential. I would start off of anyone, but then adjust on your own if that's you want to go the power rating route. Because again, most that are available, from at least from what I know, the guys that even make their power ratings available that have strong, good power ratings, those are in their back pocket. Like they're not going to share their gold with the world. Like if that's where their edge is coming from, their power ratings, I promise you, the ones they're putting out there are not going to reflect the ones they have in their back pocket. They can't. It's like card counting books. I have every one, probably the good ones ever published, on my shelf over there. And every one of them keeps out that one or two, three nuggets that actually makes a difference between being a winning and losing card counter, because no one's going to, like, everyone wants to keep that shit to themselves so that their edge maintains. So it's a good starting block to just Google college football power ratings, and I would take a cumulative of a handful of them, maybe take 3 or 4 of them, take the average of their numbers and start there with your own and judge and play with. But be careful just betting off someone else's power ratings, because again, if their power ratings are profitable, they're probably not putting them out to the world. We got to get some games, guys. We got games going off. Yeah, and I'm glad someone asked that, because I actually wrote that down. That you got it. You're going to expect plenty of these. First game, first 5, full game, especially now with baseball coming to an end and all the attention on football. There's a ton of value in bases, and with the playoffs come as well. And when football being here, you're going to see that as well, like we did with the Detroit game this morning. Under in the game, under in the first half. I won't do under in the game, over in the first half. I don't want to confuse people. We went over that already, even though it probably is the right move in some instances. But you have to remember, I'm just looking to place good bets. And I'm not worried about, like, I know I'm bet sizing correctly. So as far as being over risk or this or that, I'm not concerned. Again, like, even if both of them lose, I bet sized right. You ain't betting if you're only sweating if you're over betting. If you're not over betting, you're never sweating. Like, every bet is the same, whether you have 5 on that one, or as long as they're different bets, you know what I mean? Not all on the same side. Like, again, this one could go under in the first half and over for the game. And obviously we don't have that, but anyone that is going to cash that ticket. So let's go through the NFL now, because we're actually going to go through this, and I'm going to go through my charts that I have. We're going to make some plays right now, actually. So these will be premium. Let me see, did anything come out? The last thing that's come out. Okay, that's it. Oh, Red Sox -4.5 live. We missed that one. Okay. Genoa, we missed that one. In soccer, okay. Didn't want that anyway. All right. So, okay, so we're going to start off where we at. Yeah, and you guys are going to have to get used to this, where I'm checking lines, looking at my stuff. And like I said, when the season starts, be able to go game by game and give analysis. There's no analysis in preseason with one game under their belt, and a lot of these guys not even going to be here on Sunday. The handicap is so different in preseason. It's mostly on information that the groups I work with are getting before odds makers on who's playing, who gives a shit, that kind of stuff. That's so hard to quantify, so hard to get your hands on. When the regular season starts, it'll be a different handicap for sure. So where were we? Okay, Houston, Miami. I know, where do we have there? Oh, real fast, let's go through the baseball first. Let me finish the baseball. We have a handful of baseball premium plays. Here's the only ones that are on deck for possibles. There's 2 that are possibles that I haven't fully confirmed yet. Game 968, Baltimore, Oakland, under. It's on 8.5. That's if it was 9, we'd have already bet it. The 968 under. The fact that it opened 9 with the under at -115 at Penny, under 125 at Bet Online, and now is 8.5, is why we're not getting involved yet, because it was up at the opener. It got hit right away. And that's the problem. A lot of these groups are hitting these for such small limits. It's like, dude, wait till everyone opens it up. They're in such a race to beat you that they're giving them, they're showing their hand for $500. That's why we didn't have a bunch of freaking preseason either. And they're betting so many of these late because idiots are doing the wrong shit anyway. Okay, so yeah, under in Baltimore, Oakland, and 975, Toronto, 975. Toronto also, those two are in the chamber for possible premiums later today. Plays that I did not use for us that I moved for other groups. Just in case you guys have any opinions on your own, let me share some of these. Okay, they were over 8 in Milwaukee, Texas, game 973, over 8, Milwaukee, Texas. 971, Kansas City, plus, so they took Kansas City on the money line and Kansas City plus the 1.5 on the run line. San Diego first game, I think we bet that. What else? Okay, let me make sure. Give me a second. Go through the baseball real fast. Okay, 965 Seattle over Houston. And where was Minnesota? Minnesota also. 978 also Minnesota. Minnesota. I moved that. Oh, I got down at like 168, 167, I think. And now it's like 170s, 180s. It's too high. It's too high. But just wanted to give those to you real fast. Now we're going to go through the NFL and actually fire some of these premiums. And then real fast through MMA, because then we're going to shut it down and I'm going to send out some final MMA premiums as well. So let's just go through the NFL real quick. I'll start from the top and go down. Miami and Houston. Where were we? Where's that line? Okay, that's going off right now. Wow, we're going to miss this one. All right, let it go, let it go. The line just moved too fast. Houston's was the side. Yeah, God damn it. It's all right. At a pick 'em, I think it's all right. See something. Yeah, too late. It's okay. It's okay. If anybody wants to jump on that, we're at Houston at a pick. Houston up to -1. I know the line looks like it's going against it, but I can tell you that there's a group that is betting this one off screen. That's why it looks like that. Again, I probably would have made it a small play though, but no biggie. We'll let that one go. Let's move on. Let's move on. Chicago, Indianapolis. Let me see. We bet that. We have the under in the Chicago and Indianapolis. Obviously, Raz is on Indianapolis, and that line's moved up, from 2 to 5, from 2.5 to 5.5. Any value obviously going on the Colts. You just can't piggyback it at these numbers. You got to pass when it's like that. Even if the Colts win by a touchdown, it's just not a good bet. Tampa Jets, we have the Jets, right? We're on the Jets. Good. Do we have a total in that game that I can share? Tampa Jets. Okay, no total, no total. New England, Green Bay. New England, Green Bay. New England, Green Bay. Let me see. Okay, nothing there. Next up. Let me see. Tennessee, Minnesota. Okay, here we had some action, I believe. Okay, let me just get this all in order. Okay. Yeah, see, here's where there was difference of opinions here. You see how Raz went over 36.5? And then you saw some under money come in when it got as high as 39. And now you're seeing that's why there's like 38.5s out there now. Let me see where Circa's at. Yeah, even Circa's back to 38 from 39. So there's a little resistance on the Tennessee, Minnesota total. For me, it's a pass. It's a pass. I actually like the under. To be honest with you, I don't like the. I know Raz is on the over. You ain't gonna get rich fading them long term. But I like the under in that game, especially now at 38. Let me see. Are we gonna fade them? Let me look real quick. What's the chart say? Minnesota last week. Tennessee. Yeah, two-way action. Yeah, we're going to let that go. Minnesota, Tennessee, we're going to let go. But what we're not going to let go is, hold on. And make sure, again, please have some patience. When the season starts, I'll have the screen up. You'll understand when it gets here what I'm talking about. Wow, okay. Hold on, boys. What's the best number we could get? We're looking at Minnesota right now. Minnesota, the Vikings. Fuck. No, I'm going to pass. I was looking at Minnesota first half. Steamed that, multiple groups. But yeah, I'm going to let that one go. Just sharing that in case anybody lean that way. It's definitely the sharp side. Minnesota in the first half. Minnesota first half. Let's move on. Kansas City and Arizona. Okay, what do we have? Kansas City, Arizona. KC. Yeah, KC got, yeah, that's why I went through 7.5. But no, again, that's a Raz play. Get some respect on that. Good for him. Nothing to get involved in there, obviously, with that line move. Move on to the next game. Hold on, man. Sorry, guys. It's Johnny texting now. All right. Now, so KC, we're going to let that go. What was next? Denver, San Francisco. Here we go. We're going to pass on that. A perfect example where I bet both sides for a different group. You ready? I bet San Francisco +3 in the first half. And I bet Denver -0.5 in the first half. San Francisco +3, Denver -0.5. Two winning bettors on opposite sides, but at different numbers. That's how you need to start looking at this. These guys bet numbers. They're not betting teams. At +3, there was a ton of value, obviously, on San Francisco at +3 in the first half. So much so that it forced the market to go all the way down to a pick 'em. That's where this group said, wait a minute. Now it's over adjusted. Now we see get some a good bet by taking the San Francisco side, the Denver side, excuse me. So it just shows you how both could be great bets because they're different numbers. They're different numbers. So that's key. Finally, let's go to Raiders and the Rams. Raiders and the Rams. I know the over caught steam. Nothing I wanted to get involved with there, though. All right. Dallas and Seattle. Dallas and Seattle. Shit. Yeah, another one. We're going to let that go. Here, I'm going to share you what I got there. Seattle. I moved Seattle for a group. But see, again, I didn't send it out because it just wasn't confirmed. Nothing strong enough. I'm very, very selective on what I share with you guys. I know it seems like a lot sometimes, like plenty of plays, but believe me, I go through them over and over and over again, trying to narrow down. So, okay, keep Seattle in the chamber, just in case you see that later today. It's a night game, so we got time there. Let me see something later. Sorry, hold on. Yeah. Okay, here we go. One second. We think we got action. Yeah. They're on Pittsburgh. Yeah, there's no rush. We're going to wait, guys. We're going to wait. Like, if I don't see a reason to fire and pull the trigger, like a strong reason, and right now, just not seeing it on a lot of these plays that, again, appear to be the sharp side, but it doesn't mean anything. There's a ton of sharp sides. So, again, sorry, I don't want to waste anyone's time. But I wanted to go through those because, again, it's preseason, so it's not really much to analyze in the game. They've had one game. Like, what are you going to break down? San Francisco only put up a touchdown against the Raiders last week. You expect them to put up the offense to play better? You know what I mean? But anyway, let me see something. Yeah, let's wrap. We got enough NFL. We're good with NFL. Unless something comes down the pike, strong to change our mind. Yeah, probably should have. I probably should have taken the Houston side, to be honest with you. I tell you the truth, guys. I should have fired Houston. It was going off. That's going to happen during the season too. Houston's the side we should have bet. That's the one I missed. My fault. It's my fault. Oh, it's actually still up. Did you guys know Houston's still available? I can't give it out as a premium play, but I'm telling you now, I'm betting it right now. Wow. Okay. Hold on. I'll put it in. Where's Houston? There, you get a bonus that they don't get. Let's see Houston. Come on, you have it too? Yeah, they got it. All right. Yeah, Houston at -1. Houston -1. Let's go. Let's go. Houston. All right. Can't give it out as a premium because it starts in minutes, I guess, and it's not in the back end anymore. But I bet it. I swear to God, I just bet it. I guess I could have shown it, but yeah, I just bet it. So yeah, good. Okay, got something in because I don't want to force, guys. I'm not going to force on you. Let me just look at this real quick. I think we do have to take this. All right, let's go. All right. I'm going to send this premium now. Ready? 412, excuse me. 412, Pittsburgh Steelers, 412. Pittsburgh Steelers -1. Steelers -1, 412. Right? Oh, they're +1. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Buffalo's -1. I mean, you take a pick. I don't care, but take the point. Oh, yeah, it's preseason. Take the point. If you got to take the point, that's what we'll put it out at. +1. Pittsburgh +1. that out there. All right, you guys should be getting it right now. All right, so now I could talk real quick MMA because we really have some quick details to get to there. Some things that matter before we wrap up. Let me see, any more questions? On the Texans, I did it as a 3% of my bet size. I put 3 dimes. I bet 1 to 5 dimes as a 3% play for me. Oh, good question, Sean. Though I use betting splits, I don't use them as I would never trade off betting splits. Like because the 80% on side A, I'm going to bet side B. It's hard not to see that information. I try not to let it bias me because here's what I've learned. You can't make money fading the public unless you're getting 11 to 10. Like the reason books make money long term is because they get 11 to 10 and then they shade the line a little bit against certain biases. Like they know during NFL, bettors like to bet the overs. So there's certain games, certain matchups, well, they'll shade the over a little bit. So if the over should be 42, they'll make it 43, 43 and a half. Now it won't go over 42, 50% of the time, under 42, 50% of the time. It'll probably go over 43 and a half, maybe only 45% of the time, and under 55% of the time. So now they didn't make it where that number, it's a 50-50 proposition. Like, because again, the goal of the book is you have to manage, balance the risk or balance the result. Where you have, because if I'm getting 11 to 10, and I could balance the money, I have no risk. Otherwise, I need to balance the result, where at this number, team A wins 50% of the time, team B wins 50% of the time. Because again, I'm getting 11 to 10. So that split, once again, puts me in the driver's seat. So that's why I'm always cautious on paying attention to those betting percentages, especially when I know, because you guys will see when football starts, I'm going to give you access to my back end. I promise you, we're 3 weeks away from you seeing what I'm talking about. And here's what I mean, that you will see instances where there's 11 bets on team A, 2 bets on team B, but the money is very different. Meaning these 11 bets add up to $2,000. These 2 bets add up to $8,000. So even though you have 11 bets on team A and 2 bets on team B, rest assured, the book would rather pay these 11 people and collect from these 2. So a lot of times that data, it's not skewed. It's just, it doesn't interpret what's actually happening behind the scenes. It's giving you a very vague picture. It's not detailed. It's not really telling you what's under the hood. It's giving you an idea of what's happening. That's why I say it isn't data that I'd be trading off of. Nothing wrong with factoring it in, looking at it, even letting it influence you a little bit, but it's not information to trade from. It's not even, I know a lot of people look at, oh, this is a reverse line movement because 80% of the public's on team A, but the line moved towards team B. Again, a lot of times these conclusions are drawn, which just isn't what's actually happening. And worse is when the result comes out that way, and then they're even more biased and think, okay, this is actually what happened, when it's just not the case. So that's why I say be careful with betting percentages, because they don't really tell the whole story. Yeah, let's hit, I love it. All right. All right. You guys are ready. You guys are ready then. All right. You guys are ready for MMA. Let me see, just in case something else came in. All right. See. Oh yeah. Oh no. Second half bet. If you guys, Las Vegas Aces minus 10.5. Can you get that? Las Vegas Aces minus 10.5. Las Vegas Aces minus 10.5. It's just some group that wants the second half. Again, I don't know why they won it. It's nothing that I'm going to be using or sending out. For I know they have something on the whole game, or who knows. Regardless, you get that down for them. Let's get to the MMA. Here's what I'm going to do here. This is going to make it the easiest for us. I'm going to share my screen here. We're just going to go through my notes real fast. This is the best way I could do it. Okay. Let me share screen, and we'll be good to go. All right. All right. Are you guys, hold on. Why is it not doing it? All right, share. All right, boom, okay. You guys should be able to see my notes right now. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay, let's scroll through. Let me get all my stuff out because we're going to be placing some bets as we speak. That's what I wanted to do, go through with you guys. So you're going to have some patience while we do this, okay? Because we will be firing. Fuck it, let's just do it together now. Then it'll save me some time later. Give me a second to shut down some of my... Let's get this going. All right. Okay. All right, Moroz, Silva, you already know the side we're on. We're on the Moroz side. Reason's pretty simple. I think Silva's coming in a little bit overvalued because she's been crushing it, but it's against the level of opposition, man. Again, she got it done at the Contender Series as a 3-1 favorite. Then it looked great with her back-to-back submission wins. But now she's facing a much more seasoned opponent who's already beating her. We know Moroz beat her, and I get it. Many are going to say Silva's improved so much, it's a different Silva. Let's talk logically now. Did Moroz regress? Really? That's what's happened? I don't think so. She's won 6 of her 10 UFC fights. She's gotten better as well over the time since they last fought. And more importantly, she's done really good as an underdog. You know, she's 4-2 instead of 2-4, what the closing line reflects. So she's outperformed the betting market in this spot. Tells me she's been undervalued before. No surprise we're seeing her undervalued here again, right? So it just makes sense. I like the Moroz side. I see no reason. The market moved our way as well, as we can see by the betting line. What do we got? Plus 130, plus 135. Now look at our job's done. As far as the Moroz bet goes, our job's done. We did a great job. We got a great number, and now can she go do her job? That's it. We did ours. Now it's up to her to do hers. Next, Natalia Silva against Andrea Lee. I'll tell you the truth. I like Lee here. I do. I just think the line's too wide. Listen, I know Silva's looks the part. And being 8 years younger, as you see one of my notes, I get it. This is a fight she should win. But price is the great equalizer. And with Andrea Lee, if you're ever going to bet Andrea Lee, here's a spot you want to be betting her when she's in the underdog role. Why? Because she's a 500 fighter in the UFC. So you want to be cautious ever betting her in the favorites role because historically she hasn't won more than she's lost in the UFC. I get it, matchups matter, but you still got to look at the big sample size. That's what matters most. And here's another spot where she's an underdog. She's been profitable there. She's 2-2 her last 4, 5-5 her last 10. If I'm ever going to bet her, it's going to be in this underdog's role. And I think the line even moved a little bit down towards her, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she went from a 350 favorite down to a 300 favorite. So there's some sharp money. Definitely on the Andrea Lee side. I may take a stab on her a little later. We'll see. It's a little early. That's the side. Next up, this is the one I was waiting on. I was hoping to see the line go back up a little bit. And here's why. We're going to fade Petrovsky. The bottom line is this. The narrative is Same gym. We saw what happened to Mearshart last time. Petrosky's going to run right through him as well. He's been perfect so far in the UFC. He should be perfect. He's been a minus 300 plus favorite each and every time in. Here's another spot where if I'm ever going to bet Gerald Mearshart, it's once again in this role as an underdog. Again, sure, he's only 6-8, but that's more than enough when his average closing line is plus 192, meaning he's outperformed the betting market by close to 10% based on his record overall. He's going to have a reach advantage here. Definitely has the experience advantage. With this, because we don't have the time, otherwise I'd pull up the X's and O's. And real fast, I want to give a shout out to a guy I follow. I use his data a lot, so he definitely should get a shout out. Let me pull him up right here to show you guys. My man Nate Latshaw, give him a follow. I use his stuff. I'll tell you each and every week. Here you go. Check his stuff out. It's awesome. This is where I do all my X's and O's, all my data. I use his stuff now, where I don't even have, I keep different trends and stuff. But as far as the matchup goes with striking, offense, defense, grappling, offense, defense, the wrestling, that, my man's got it. And you could create as you wish what stats matter to you. And I've spent a lot of years narrowing down what I think is predictive in MMA and what's not predictive. And what I'll share with you real quickly is striking is a lot more predictive. Focus on the striking data. Put more weight on the striking data. You would think it's the other way around, that a grappler is just going to grapple. But believe me, striking data has proven to be more predictive. The correlation to victory is greater than with grappling. Keep that in mind. Give my guy here a follow. Like I said, this is what we'd be looking at, and I'd be explaining to you what stats matter to me. But again, we got to go through this card quickly. We're getting close to the 90-minute mark, and we have some bets to make still. So let's go ahead and let's confirm this. Let's go Gerald Mearshart. Wow, he's plus 210 at Superbook, plus 220, plus 205 at FanDuel, plus 195 at Circa, 195 at, let's go 195. If you guys could get 200, even better. I hope you guys are getting 200s because there's 200s out there. But I'm going to give Gerald Mearshart 3% play. Gerald Mearshart, 3% play. Right now, sending it out. Let's go, Gerald. There you go. We had taped the show early for UFC on the Line, and I was so pissed I didn't get a chance to use him on that. I thought he was the right side. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. Next up, we go Katona Gibson. Let's see what that line is real fast. Katona's the right side. Put him to the side. I'm not ready to pull the trigger yet, but let me write Katona down. You may see him. I just got to dig a little deeper, and I don't want to waste your time right now. I'm going to go into Nate's stuff when we get off this, just to finalize some of those that I have the leans on. So let's put Katana to the side right now. Other than the reach advantage for Gibson, this is just not a good matchup for him. And I think we're getting Katona at this price because he's coming off the 2 straight wins and he hasn't had a finish yet in the UFC. Those guys tend to be a little bit overvalued. Both these guys coming in off 2 straight losses. There was something that jumped out at me at Katona that was in the data for sure because I have them written down. So we'll wait on that. Next, Austin Hubbard. Hulba. Again, this is a fight I would not mess with. If anything, I would look to the Hubbard side. It's a fight he should win. But anybody that wants to lay this kind of juice on either of these guys is nuts. I'm I'm not going to even waste your time with it. Rodriguez is a side I like. I just think it's a little bit too chalky. I'm putting him into the writing him down because I may you. There's books that I like to get longevity in with football here. So I give them some stuff that isn't sharp, that they wouldn't categorize as sharp. I'll give them a teaser. I'll give them parlays. And it buys you time. It gives you longevity in the account. So Rodriguez is one of those where, if I throw in a parlay, Rodriguez is definitely going on there. Weidman and Tavares, what I could tell you is the under is the sharp play. Under 2.5 got steamed down. That's why it's now under 1.5 at plus money. Looks like the right side. I actually bet that under for one of the MMA guys that I work with. It wasn't a lean that I had, so I will never use it as a premium play if I didn't have the lean myself, because it's their work. But I piggybacked it. Number one, I saw how the market reacted to the action, which is a good sign. Number two, the weight class at middleweight, where we know 55-45, judges don't get involved. And the long layoff for Weidman. I like this, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm going to piggyback it because it's not fair. But you guys get the information. You get it by being here. Whoever's here gets this in on that info that I'm telling you now. I bet the under, and I promise you, I could even show you if you want. You ready? So you don't think I'm bullshitting you? Hurry, come on. Oh, well, it doesn't want to cooperate. While it spins, let it spin. We'll move on while it's spinning. Next up, Munoz Vera. Yeah, Vera's the side that I was looking at. Again, he falls under the Rodriguez category, which I wish the line was shorter because he's got the reach advantage with statistical significance, the age advantage, statistical significance, the stance advantage with statistical significance. He's coming in off a loss and he's shown the ability to bounce back. And Munoz with only one win in his last 4, but has that history. He's profitable. But the fear is the line, man. This. Why is it doing? Why? What is it sitting here for? That to me scares me. Like, why hasn't this line moved up? Why isn't the Vera line over minus 200? I respect the market. Like, I give a lot of respect to lines and line moves because I know that books have a lot of money at stake with their opinion. When I see a side that I expect to move in one direction and it doesn't, the siren goes off. Why isn't the market reacting that way? Why isn't this happening? And right now, that's the case with Vera. I like Vera. Vera looks like the right side. The factors as far as trends, I think, sit well. I believe if you looked at the data, it reflects the Vera side. But the one piece of the puzzle that is missing is the market's reaction, the betting line's reaction. It tells you so much, and it's just not doing what it should be doing. So we're going to put Vera to the side, like we have Vera, Rodriguez, Katona, move up. Magny, Gary, this line just got away from us. If you watched UFC on the Line, you know I gave out Gary, but that was at minus 300. Now he's minus 500, so it's a pass. At this line, I'll tell you the truth. If you're going to bet it, you sprinkle Magny or leave it alone. You really do. And that's from someone who needs the Gary side for my straight and for my parlay. I just gotten the there's a road book that had the line available. I can't make it a premium play that far out because I know most of you guys wouldn't have access to 292 betting lines. I had a out or two that did and had it up at like minus 300, which is like we used it for the show because we taped it like 2 weeks early. Anyway, make a long story short, I just think the value's been extracted to, if I could get plus 400 on Magni, at plus 400, the break even's 20%. It's got to be near that, man. I think he's got to be closer to that 25%, maybe, where he wins this fight 1 out of 4 times. I don't know, man. Again, it's a late replacement, just so much against you. I show you the data here. I went back. You're going back over a decade. You got less than 30 days notice. You're going to lose the fight 2 out of 3 times. You got less than 10 days notice. You're going to lose the fight more than 2 out of 3 times. So it's just not a good, you're not coming in from a position of strength. But when you get plus 400, you don't have to be. Again, you're going out on the risk curve, but you're being rewarded at 4-1 for that risk. That's how I weigh my bets. What's the risk? What's the reward? With Magni, I think the reward's greater than the risk. I really do. So don't be surprised if you see a 1% play on Neil Magny if minus 400s are across the board. Won't do it at plus 380. I need 400. And where it sits right now, the only one I think giving me 400 was like one book. So we're not going to get there. It's the Superbook here in Vegas is giving you 400. And not surprised. They went from 320 to 350. 320, 375, 400. Yeah, no, 500. I mean, no surprise. Okay, what's next? And like I said, football is going to be a lot of fun, man. Oh, Weili Zhang and Amanda Lemos. Here's what I can tell you. I think Weili wins this fight. Lemos has attracted sharp money. In fact, I would go as far as calling it steam. Kind of like scaring me on the Vera side. The market's not doing what it's supposed to, mostly because there's some sharp bettors that are stopping that from happening. I know that for a fact, and that scares me. Again, Weili's her fight to lose, but it's the danger of Lemos why I think she's attracting that sharp money. So you may see the Lemos side for a small bet. We'll see how this line materializes. Finally, Aljo O'Malley. I love the Sterling side. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, I think I'm very close to making it a 5% play. It warrants it. If this was a month and a half ago, when we were at 300 units, it would be a 5% play. It really would, because the betting line should be much higher. Here's what I mean. Here's exactly what I mean. If you cover the names, or even one, just cover the Sean O'Malley name, but look at the Aljamain Sterling name, and you go through the data, and you go through the strength of schedule, there is no chance you would come to a conclusion that Sterling would be anything less than a minus 350, 400 favorite in that against that type of opponent without the name. Take the name O'Malley away. And I think you'd be looking at a 400 favorite, because you look at the strength of schedule, guys. You can't overlook the fact that O'Malley's wins come against opponents that are 28-20 in the UFC, 58%. His win against Jan was by split decision. That was the only time he stepped up. Let's look at Aljo. His overall record is against 80%. His wins against 81%. We're talking about guys that had over 100 fights combined. He's beaten the top. He's 10-1 as a favorite. He's won 15 of 18 UFC fights. He's positive EV and ROI pretty much each fight because the public doesn't like him. He's won 9 straight fights, and he still continues to come in undervalued because of that. That's a gift as a sports bettor. Again, dude, O'Malley could go land that shot, knock him out in the first round. I can't control that. The only thing I could do is what does the data reflect the betting line should be? Not what's going to happen. You can't predict what's going to happen. You can't predict what one judge may see if it goes to a decision. But according to the data, he should be bigger than a minus 250 favorite. So do not be surprised if you see plus a 1% added to that. Because again, I just think it's warranted. I listen, laying minus 200, 250, 300 is uncomfortable for me as well, even when I know I'm getting the best of it because of the amount of money I got to dish out. Remember, a 5% play for me and minus 300 is 15 dimes. I'm putting out 15 dimes to win 5. That's a lot of money, especially when you've been losing the last 30 days. You see, I'm down 15 positions. At 3 dimes a position average, that's 45 dimes. I'm down about 50,000 the last 30 days. That's what I've lost. It's a new car, for some people. It's a brand new car, paid off. So obviously I'm hesitant. I'm like you. I don't comfortably lay 15,000 to win 5, but I'm also at a point where I'm able to separate my emotions from the job. And that's why I'm been able to win like I have, been able to profit and get to where I am financially by being willing to make that bet when it's uncomfortable, because it's the right thing to do. So I'm not telling you to do it. If you're comfortable with 1% on it, or you like the O'Malley side, fade me. What I'm saying is, if I do it, it's because it's warranted, and I really think it is. In fact, I didn't even want to promote that. I don't want that person that needs that win tonight to come be looking for a 5% and buy my package. They're not the kind of subscribers I'm looking for. Those guys, I can't help them. Hopefully they land on they're going to buy a long-term loser, and hopefully that day they win for them. That's the most I could hope for them. But for you guys, I just got to keep it real so that when the year ends and we look at the results, deep down that if you followed the recommendations and did the right things, they're the exact same results you would have. And most of you, I hope, will do better because there's a lot of smart people in this freaking room. So let me see if we have any more questions. I like that. Katona by Sun. Oh, great question. I break down everything. As far as I've been betting all sports, all markets from when I started. Like when I got into sports betting, there weren't specialists. Like you bet, again, we didn't have access to the markets you do now. So you bet year round, football, basketball, then the baseball, there's hockey in the middle, but the major sports, we didn't have the amount of stuff that is on the menu now. So I've always handicapped the major sports. So the groups that I work with that give me NFL, college football, NBA, college basketball, Major League Baseball, I always, unless it's such a move where they want to max a position, where it's an open order, those I'll blindly follow. An open order, I'll blindly follow. The history is so good, I don't need to know why they're betting it. I will blindly follow it. Everything else on those sports that I've been following and handicapping, no, I don't piggyback blindly. I look at break down the game the way I taught myself to analyze data and stats and information and the metrics that I look at. And that's how I choose the groups that I work with, which ones I'm going to bet more on top of and then release to subscribers. Because the stuff I do with them, I take a percentage of the account. So like I have no control over that. Whatever they put in there, I just have 25% off, 50%, depends what the deal is. Different deals with different groups. And you just take a percentage of the account. So I'm responsible for half the losses, but I also take half the wins. In other accounts, I get 25% of the wins, and I'm responsible for 25% of the losses. In other accounts, it's a free roll where no money comes out of pocket, and I just get 10% with a work off. So when they lose money, nothing comes out of pocket, but I don't get a commission until they make the losses back. So the deals differ with each group, but I handicap the stuff they send, kind of like with the football all week. I look, you'll see with the NFL. It'll become clearer with the NFL where I could show you an analysis. But with that said, the other stuff like soccer, when you see like Peruvian soccer or even a bit from England or Italy, it's not my stuff. I don't have an opinion. I don't know how to handicap it. I don't follow it. I'd be foolish to think I'm plus EV. So instead, I trust the guys that I work with, the groups that I work with, and I'm willing to invest capital based on their long-term results. So that stuff, yeah, if you see a tennis play, if you see NASCAR even, if you see those smaller off sports are always the groups I work with. The props, something I don't do. I don't do fantasy. So when we do props, you'll see it's groups that I work with. I know this is their thing. They just win with props. I've won with them in the past, and I continue, piggybacking them. But I'm not going to pretend to act like I know how to handicap tennis. I don't. I'd be negative EV, like most people. Tavares Weidman, yes, 2.5 and 1.5. The 2.5s were gone. I know Penny still has it, but most of the 2.5s were gone. So I think majority of their action is at under 1.5 at plus 170. So 160, 170. So yeah, don't stress the 2.5 as far as if you're worrying about getting a worse number than I got down for it, because I got it down at 1.5. The majority of it, I got some 2.5, but the majority was all 1.5. So I would grade it at 1.5. Do I consider narratives when placing you in FC bets? Only to go against them. Please don't take this the wrong way, but I just know like analysts don't make money betting sports. People that give picks and predictions, they don't make money betting sports. So anytime the narrative is formed from those people, the press, the journalists, I'm looking to fade it. I'm looking to take advantage of it. I'm hoping the readers overreact to it because I know it's not meaningful, that it's already baked into the cake, that they're talking about something that's irrelevant. But it's great for talk radio. It's great for TV, but it isn't great for being a winning sports bettor. Like I said, there's some guys that are the best analysts on the planet, know so much about sports. They don't make money betting sports. They make money talking about sports, being analysts on sports. Same thing with people that do picks for the sites, you see. The reason they're not documenting their long-term record is because they're not there to give winning picks. They're there to promote DraftKings or FanDuel or whatever site they're promoting. The sports book's paying them $50, $100, $200 for a video so they can put a link to the sports book. They're not putting the person there because they think, oh, you're going to share some winning information with people and they're going to sign up with the sports book because you're going to win for them. Of course not. They're choosing people that are just going to urge you to click the link, man, to put it nicely. I started following you on Twitter this week. Can't believe how much grief you get. Thanks for sharing what you know. Honestly, James, I don't mind it at all. I swear to you, I'm human. Obviously, everyone prefers to be liked compared to being not liked. But you get to a point, I think, when you get older, that you start to realize what matters most is the small group of people that you care about and love and respect what they think about you, and you stop caring about what anyone else thinks. Like you, like I know social media doesn't know me. They know nothing about me. They've created a version or narrative based on their own thoughts, nothing of me. They never met me. They never spoke to me. They don't know nothing about me. They don't know about my background. They don't know about my family. They don't know about my tragedies or my successes. They don't know anything. They don't know my soul, my heart, what's deep down. They know nothing. So I can't blame them for mostly what they're saying is just a reflection of themselves. Like if they're angry at losing their money on a bet. Of course, they got to take it out on someone other than themselves. So who else they're going to take it out on? I get that part. I don't mind. I like it's fine. Go ahead, bring it on. Like because at the end of the day, my job isn't to defend myself. My job is to produce results and to put those results out there. And they speak for me. Like at the end of the day, that's the only thing I can go by is my results. Like my personality, you may be the worst. You may hate it. How I look, you may think I'm the ugliest dude on the planet. My voice, it may fucking make you fucking ugh. My whatever. All that stuff doesn't mean anything in the world that I'm in, which is, am I a profitable sports bettor? That's why I'm on social media. Like I would not be on social media if I didn't do this, if this wasn't the industry, because I wasn't raised on it. Like I should hire someone to follow me around once in a while because I do some really cool shit. Like I play some good bets. I run around. I do some fun stuff, and go to nice restaurants, meet people at cool places. But it doesn't dawn on me to take out my phone because I wasn't raised around that. Like it's not like second nature. It's not like breathing where I'm out sometimes at a restaurant and I'm like, I'm seeing everyone taking pictures of their food and texting. Like to me, that seems so foreign. Like I just honestly, I don't get it. Or I went to a Metallica concert and like most of the people around me, we were in a really nice section and they were holding their camera up the whole time, like looking through the camera, then like putting it online, like going to their Instagram and shit. Like, dude, what are you doing? Fucking enjoy yourself. Like, these are the experiences of your life that you get 2 hours to have fun, and you're gonna spend that time to try to get clout on the internet from people that don't even know who the fuck you are, know nothing about you. You got some issues you need to deal with. So yeah, I think before when I was younger, yeah, it would have killed me seeing that. Yeah, I would have lost sleep over it. It would have like the one person without even a face, just an avatar, would have got under my skin. It's impossible now. Like because I've done this long enough to know, dude, no one wins in this industry. You know that, right? Like I don't mean to knock it, but you do understand why 99% of pick selling sites can't put results of more than 30 days. You understand that, right? That it's not by accident that most sites can't put results past 4 fucking weeks. Past 4 weeks. Dude, go look around. Google pick selling sites. Go to every single one of them. And you tell me next Saturday how many of them had results longer than 4 weeks. How many of them? Why? Why? Because they're winning and they don't want anyone to know? They want to keep it a secret of how well they're doing? Is that why? They don't want anyone to know that they won this year, they won last year, they won the year before that, they've been winning every year. They want to keep that from you? Seriously? No, they don't show it because they don't win, because they lose. I know that. Deep down, you know that. And the people bashing know that. And you could be mad at me for whatever. I can't control that. But dude, my results are what they are. I'm the most scrutinized pick seller on the planet. They're as real as they get. I can't even make a mistake. If one of my losses gets graded as a push, dude, Wager Talk will get, and the big moves will get 50 emails in 30 minutes about how'd you grade that wrong. So deep down, I know that they know my results are legit and not just 6 months or 30 days. I got 8 years of every pick I've ever released documented. So I know where I stand. My results speak for themselves. You want to bash the other shit? Do that. You can't bash that. You could pick a week. Like I said, when you bet every day, like I do in every market, dude, go to my long-term results. They're documented. You could go back 8 years, scroll through to 2015. You're going to find some stretches that are so, you're going to look, it looks like I don't even know what sports are. That I couldn't have picked the winner if I had the Mars newspaper, that I was the biggest idiot in the world, that I'm throwing darts. That's just what a small sample size is going to look like when you bet every day, multiple markets, and you have thousands and thousands of picks. Over a small sample, you could find the ugliest results, just like I could find results that make me look like I'm a psychic, where it's a month that it makes me look like, fuck, this guy's the best. He walks on water. He's so good. But it's not true. What really matters is how's Ace doing over 2,000 bets, over 5,000 bets. And what I could tell you is I know that all those people bashing me have negative lifetime earnings. They're down betting sports. So of course they're going to bash me when they see me lose, because they're going to make it makes them feel better. Look, everyone loses. See, even he's a scammer. He's lying. See, he don't win. Look how he's done these last 10 days, these last 30 days. Of course, dummy. Hit me up on December 31st. Let's see who's standing and who's hiding. Because the first week of January, I know that I'm tweeting my last year results. Very few people are doing that. Everyone else is already talking about their first week of January, how great it is. Remember that. Remember the first week of January. By January 10th, you're going to start seeing people bragging about their 2024 results. 10 days in, 20 days in, 1 month in, they're going to be talking about 2024 results. By March, never again. You'll never hear the year. You'll hear a couple weeks. You'll hear the sport. You'll hear the rating, but you will not hear the overall. From 9 out of 10, you will not hear this is what I am for the year. After about March, no chance. I've done this very long time, guys. Believe me. Thank God I'm in a position I don't have to lie to you. If there's no one else here but me, my life doesn't change, dude. Like, this isn't a brag. It's because I put the work in. So I don't have to sell picks. It's Saturday, busy, NFL, UFC 292. I don't have no fucking 5% I'm promoting. In fact, I told them to take that tweet down that was put up. I said, you can't guarantee I ain't got no 5% play. Yeah, I said I like something like a 5%, that's possibly a 5% play, but you're not committing me to a 5% play. Fuck that. That's not how I roll. I don't need to sell 50 fucking 100 packages in the next 30 minutes just because I put a 5% on it. I don't roll like I don't need to do that. So again, not to go long on that, but understand the criticism. I'm okay with it, and I expect it. The problem would be if I didn't get it, then something would be wrong. It's real quick. It's almost like when I tweet out a video. Right now, if I do a pick video, right now I do a free pick video. If I put it on my Twitter, within the next hour, it's going to get 1,000 views. By tomorrow morning, it's going to have 5,000 views. Okay. You know how many likes it's going to have? You know how many retweets it's going to have? 5, 6. I can't judge my results on that. Instead, I judge my results that 5,000 people felt they needed to see it, that my opinion mattered to them, that they actually had to see it, sat and saw my pick. Of course, no one's going to give you credit. No one's going to like it. No one's going to retweet it. A couple decent dudes are. A couple of down homies are. But the majority, they're not. And that's cool. You don't have to. But I know how it works. I'm okay with it. So thank you for living a day in my life and seeing that. Fortunately, I don't look at it. Like I should be on there more, but I'm never hardly on social media. And when I am, I'm not looking at what people are saying about me. I swear to God. I probably have them muted, to be honest with you, so I don't even see it. 90% I probably have muted of people like that. Because again, if all you have is negativity, you have nothing to share. I love debating. I love debating more than anything. Because a lot of times I've learned, like I've been wrong. That's the only way I've learned something, by debating someone that knew something more than me. I'm so good with that. I don't have an ego when it comes to admitting I'm wrong. I'm comfortable admitting I'm wrong. In fact, I try to find wrongs so I could right them. Believe me, I'm the hardest critic of my own self. So I'm totally okay with that. And I think most people should do that. You know, you got to look inward, man. And again, everybody's not going to like what you're doing, and that's okay. What do I think about the Bills to make the playoffs? Minus 250. If you think they do it 3 out of 4 times, make the bet. I think you have to say 4 out of 5. Here's what I would tell you. If you think they do it 4 out of 5 times, it's a bet worth making. 3 out of 4 is profitable, but I wouldn't lock up my money for 5 months for that small of an edge. But if you deep down believe that 8 out of 10 times with this roster, this schedule, whether they stay healthy or not, because that's going to play a big role in season win totals, is worthy of them making the playoffs, then I would bet it. You may see it on the list, Benny. You may see it on the list, my man. And again, we won't have time now. We're already about 2 hours, and I still have some football and MMA I still want to get down with. But what I want to say is, as we go forward and football comes, I'm going to try to log in earlier. And fuck it, I know some people don't want to be on here for 3 hours or whatever, but I'm going to have it like a pregame show. So I want to be here and answer any question you have as far as games and stuff. So leading up to that, I want to be accessible to you where you could ask those questions. And even like, I know it's a lot of you guys hit me up asking for stocks and stuff like that. Dude, I'll chart any company you want. Like, again, I don't want to go on other tangents, but that's the one thing, like just like with sports, it's a market I could beat. There's a few things I know I'm capable of sharing with other people. I could teach you how to beat blackjack. I could share with you winning sports information and point you in the right direction so that you become an efficient and winning sports bettor. And I could chart a fucking equity, a commodity, or a crypto and make it extremely profitable for day and swing trades. In fact, I have more confidence. I wouldn't say more confidence. I'm more efficient sports bettor, but I'm willing to invest more in stock. Like I'll put 5 dimes max on a bet, but I'll put 50 dimes into a trade, dude. Like I'll put 6 figures into a trade. Because with a trade, I'm going to go percentages of movements. Like with a bet, it's zero sum game. You're going to win the 5,000, you're going to lose the 5,000. With a 50 dime trade, it's a little different. Like for me to lose 5,000 on it, the trade's got to go against me 10%. Like, you know, the market's got to move against me 10% for me to lose 5,000. So it's a different game. That's why I'm willing to make 6-figure trades, because a 6-figure trade, if I lose 5%, that's like losing a 5% play. But if you put 6 figures on a 5% play, you don't lose the whole damn 6 figures if that play loses. So it's a little different. It's a little different. That's why. But I want to help you guys as much as possible. Turn profit with any capital you're willing to invest. I've seen people get burned. I got burned. I've been burned in sports a little bit. I've been burned a lot more in investments because I didn't have that education and I got burned. So any way I can help anyone from experience some of those things I did, dude, I'm here to help you. So yeah, have at it. I am here for you. Let me look real quick, see if we got anything else that's come through. Oh, wow. Let me see. Yeah, guys, let me see. It may be official right now. Hold on. Yeah, sorry, guys. It's official. I'm upping it now, so you know. Sterling's a 5% play. Win or lose, I'd be doing wrong by you and by me. I wouldn't be honest to myself if I didn't do this. Like if I let fear of losing 12 units and making my record look ugly for another week isn't reason enough not to do it. Again, if I'm going to keep it real, then I got to keep it real 100%. And that is keeping it real, because he should be a minus 350 favorite. Minimum, dude, 3 plus. So yeah, got to do it. Aljo, 5%. Big move. Upgraded. I know, makes you nervous. I know. I wish it was a plus fucking 250, believe me. I truly do, just like you do. But you got to take what the market gives you. And right now, that's what it's given us. It's given us a minus 250. That's the best fucking bet on the damn board, dude. That's so crazy. That the biggest difference on today's UFC card is the main event between implied win probability and true win probability. That's what I mean by best bet. That the difference between what the line should be and what it is has to be this fight. Like I haven't seen an offline like this in a while in this high profile of a fight. Like you don't expect it. But because it's Sean O'Malley, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, 5% play. Okay, dang, we put in 2 hours. I'm going to scroll real quick. Last thing, any bets? No, we upgraded. You know what we're looking at? We're looking at the Catano and Rodriguez side. Forget the Vera side. I just like now. Yeah, penny just went from minus 183, minus 180. You dropped 3 cents? Okay. You're going to give me the discount? Really? Yeah. Be careful there. Again, I like Vera too, but everything on the betting number is screaming to me that something don't sit right. Something just don't sit right. So we're good. We're good. Okay? Love you guys. Thank you for all your support. Please, please, please stay the course. Just bet size correctly. We will get through any tough stretch. I worry about you guys more than myself. I try to manage what are they down if they just started a week from now, a month from now, how many bets could they afford to place? Like I try to take that all into account while also making sure I maximize profit for the guys who are doing it exactly the way I recommend and have been doing it like that since January 1st. Because there's a couple guys in here that have, and there's a few guys that signed up when we started this that have been doing it since day one the right fucking way. And I got to make sure those guys maximize their profits. So if it should be a 5, I got to make it a 5 and not worry about the guy who just started this week's a little bit behind. Maybe I shouldn't have him put as much risk. That's something you're going to have to figure out on your own. I got to do what's best for the entire room. And what's best for the entire room is when December 31st rolls around, we're up as much money as we fucking possibly could be. The road we're going to go, I don't know what it's going to be like. None of us do. That's the fun. That's the challenge, that we don't know what the road's going to be from here to December 31st. But I think we're heavily favored. Like I said last week, I believe it was at 202 units. I said I would bet we're higher than 202 when December 31st rolls around. I would bet we're higher than 232 when December 31st rolls around. Thank you for your time, especially on a Saturday. You guys rock. I love you guys. Write down your questions throughout the week so you don't forget them. And we'll start it even earlier and stay even longer. And, we could change up the days. I just want to get practice in on a Saturday because we're now 2-3 weeks away from, you're going to see what I'm talking about. And just give you a little hint. Like this is the feed you're going to be looking at, a feed just like this. Hold on. There, you see this feed? This is nothing but action coming in. You see that? Boom, Aljo, boom, boom, boom. You see that? You know what that's colored like that? Because that was a bot. That nailed it. So once I saw, not only did I love it, but then the betting syndicate that's trying to bet it off screen is unloading on it through the bot. I got to step it up to a 5% play. That's some of the things you'll definitely be seeing. This still hasn't. That's funny. Let's close him down. Oh, I forget what I was trying to show you guys. I think I was trying to show you a bet. Who cares? Anyway, Let me get out of there. No. All right, so now we're out of there, right? Yes, okay. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Stay the course. Stay the course. Don't let, if you see some heavy volume like today, don't let it overwhelm you. Always have a plan. Have a fucking plan. Go in with the plan, knowing, you know what? The way I'm at right now, I'm gonna just do 5 bets. For the next month, I'm gonna do 5 bets a day. If that's better than having no plan and being overwhelmed and being like, oh wait, today there's too many. What am I gonna do? Tomorrow there's only 3. I could bet all of them. The next, like, you don't want to be just doing anything. Again, I want you guys to win so freaking bad, dude. You have no idea how badly I want you to beat your book. Anyway, I just wasted another 10 minutes telling you guys how great you are. And I love you guys. Thank you again for your time. I'm here for you. So please write down your questions throughout the week. I am accountable to you. Win or lose, I will face you. I will admit when we're losing, why we're losing, what the plan is, and I will celebrate with you when we're winning and keep us in check and remind you it's not as easy as it looks. And the state of course, we're going to do just fine. You guys have a great day and a great week ahead. We'll be hooking up next week. We're already at the 19th. September will be here, week 1 of NFL and college football. Don't get too excited. Let the squares get excited. We take our time. We know as the data comes in, as the weeks pass, the square bettors are on the payment plan and looking for new bookmakers so they can pay the old ones that they're in the hole with. And we're taking advantage of all the chasing, all the inefficiencies. So you don't got to go nuts from the first weekend. I know we're all excited for what's coming, but we could pace ourselves. We all want to bet futures, but remember that money will be locked up for 4 or 5 months. It's a long time. You want to make sure the return on investment is worth it. Otherwise, you can flip that money over 3, 4, 5 times between now and the Super Bowl, in which case you made more from that capital than if you would have risked it on, a win total or, over under, whatever. So you guys have a great day. Enjoy the fights tonight. Go Aljo. Go Aljo. Love you.